Okay, we're going to continue on with our practice 14-5. Okay, it says for numbers 1 through 5, use the graph below. The graph shows Cindy's errands. So before we start, let's look at our graph here. So the title is Cindy's errands. This bottom, which is called the x-axis, is time in minutes. So they're counting by fives on the bottom. The distance traveled, number of blocks. So on this y-axis shows how far she traveled as far as blocks. And this is a way people measure things, especially like in downtown, like in Indianapolis, how many blocks you walked. So let's see what the question says. Look at the coordinates at point A. What does point A represent? Okay, so A is this one right here. It represents that there was nothing going on. No minutes have passed and no blocks have been, she hasn't traveled any blocks because it's at 0, 0. So point A, because I'm always going to give you the fanciest answer, point A shows 0 minutes and 0 block, well that's an L, 0 blocks traveled. That's a fancy answer because it's at spot 0, 0. All right, point B. So point B shows the time is 10 minutes and she's traveled 2 blocks. So here we go. Point B shows and I can do it either way. This way I'll do it the y-axis first. She traveled 2 blocks and spent, how much time did she spend? 10 minutes. If you want to get even fancier, you could put what those 10 minutes meant. Going to her errand. So, because we're fancy here in our quarantine. All right, what do you think happened between points B and C? Okay. So, at point B is at 10 minutes of her time, and she traveled 2 blocks. So, it took her 10 minutes. Okay. So, what do we think's going on here? She's not moving, but she is passing time. So what do you think is happening at that spot? Well, let's think of it. If it's like one of my favorite stores like Ross or Marshall's. What am I doing when I go to that errand? I'm spending time at the same place, right? So I'm thinking between points B and C, she was at the same place for how much time? For let's see, we start here, start with the 10, we go 5, 10. She was in the same place for 10 minutes. Let me know if you have any other ideas of how you could word that or what you think she was doing at that time. Or, you know what, here's another thing, like when I go to Ross, Target's right next to it, maybe all of her errands were in the same block. You know what, I'm going to put that too. Maybe all of her errands were near each other and she didn't have to travel. That's something else because she's not traveling blocks, but maybe she's like going, okay, here I am at Marshall's, and I'm going to go to Target, and then I'm going to go to Ross. That could happen. All right. Which of the following statements is supported by the graph? 10 minutes occurred between points B and C. Well, let's see. Between 10 to 20 Is that 10 minutes? Yes. Got an answer of A already. I'm going to go ahead and write my answer of A in the box, but I do want to go and check and make sure there's not two answers. Cindy stopped for different amounts of time. Well, I can kind of see that being an answer because here it kind of looks like she's stopping, but there's no proof in how much time she spent at each place. So we cannot say for sure how long she was at each place. Cindy spent more time stopping than walking. Well, we don't really know that either because we don't know what is she doing between B and C and D and E. We don't know if she's stopping or if she's just walking along the same block or spending some time in a store. So I don't think so. Cindy traveled 8 blocks in 30 minutes. Well, this one we can look at. Here's at 30 minutes. If that was true, our point would be here. So I do not agree with that. However, if it said 50 minutes, I would agree. So I'm going to stick with that as my answer. And this time, the story's up to you. Make something up. What's she doing in this story, in this graph? Start at point A and just explain what she's doing along the way using the numbers in the blocks traveled and the time. I know you can do it, and I don't want you just to copy my answer. So message me if you need more help than that.